All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome, Crypto FUD, and let's jump right into this, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We have seen some beautiful movement in the market as of last night. Today, we are looking absolutely fantastic. Right now, Bitcoin sitting at around 62,940. Coming down, a little bit of a cool off. You guys can see that we did break today our local high of 63,000. We'll call it 63,900 before getting rejected and basically coming back on a small little retracement. But I mean, zoom out, guys, and look at just the last 2 days. I believe this is 2 to 3 days. We've seen nothing but beautiful movement towards the upside. And if you really actually zoom out, you guys can see since we've dropped, like we've been talking about, since we made this bottom at around 52.6, we have been doing nothing but nonstop moving towards the upside with some small retracements here and there, right? It's obviously that's what's going to happen. We're not going to just move straight up, you know, in one little burst. We're obviously going to see these upward movements with some small retracements. So don't get fooled out. The mission is still us heading towards the upside. Obviously, you can see the whole market today pretty much in the green for today. Also, the stock market making all-time highs again today, guys. The S&P 5,700 making freaking all-time highs. The NASDAQ 42,000 right now just killing it. You can see every risk on asset right now is absolutely ripping. Big gold did make all-time highs. I think it jumped up to about 2,600 before retracing slightly. But this right here tells you guys that the bull market, for now, it looks like we're back on track, right? We're back on track. We're back to moving. Alts right now are absolutely ripping right now. This right here, if we were to look at it just like 2 or 3 hours ago, some of these alts were up 30-40% for the day. Absolutely killing it today. As far as y'all's projects, whatever you guys are involved in, how are your projects doing today? I know a lot of you guys in the Discord were talking about Mog. I believe Mog was one of them. I'm trying to remember. I was briefly, glancing at it, but I know a lot of you guys were talking about your projects and how they were just basically killing it today. Let me know in the chat what projects you guys have that are killing it, and we'll pull it up and definitely check out what's going on. Cheers to everybody. Drinking a Sierra Mist Summerfest, even though summer is pretty much over. Is it over? Down here in Florida, summer doesn't stop. So we'll definitely drink that. Jay, what's going on, brother? Jay, let me know he made an 80% profit on a long late last night into this morning. That's awesome, bro. We cover leverage trading in our members only stream. So if you guys are interested in learning about leverage trading, I'm not giving out financial advice, but you guys can see how I leverage trade, where I leverage trade on, how I kind of decide if I'm going to be long and short in the market, whatever the case is. So make sure you guys hit that join, become a member. Art, what's going on, brother? Rodney's in the house. Bullish, what's going on, bro? Pink, haven't seen you in a while. Ladies was up 23%. I know that was one of them. They were talking about ladies. Ladies was absolutely ripping. AI, what is going on? He said, hey, everyone, we are ready. We are. Doesn't it feel good, guys? Let's just take a break real quick. Hold on. Just hold. Even before you hit the like, let's just take this in, right? We've been going through so much in the last few weeks, maybe the few months, and I've been telling you guys, listen, we're going to be all right? And even though we're technically not out of the woods yet, right? You could just feel the, just the atmosphere. It's getting back to being bullish, right? Especially when you see these alts absolutely ripping, it just feels good. It feels good. I know a lot of you guys were telling me in the Discord that you're back into the green on a lot of your positions. That's freaking awesome, right? Let's go. I hope you guys get that 10, 20, 30, 40x, 50x, whatever you're gunning for. I hope you guys get it. And you know what? With patience, I don't doubt that you guys will get to where your goals are in crypto, right? This is crypto where, dreams come alive. Was that kind of cheesy? I think that was a little bit cheesy, right? Looking at the crypto bubbles for the daily, though, look at this. Absolutely still killing it. Sui up 7%. You have Fetch. I mean, I can't even go through all these. Pepe, Popcat's one of the ones that are standing out. What is this? Celsius is up like crazy. Stacks, Ordinals is up almost 12%. Shout out to the Ordi bros. Definitely killing it today. You guys can see just across the board, we are looking absolutely fantastic. Looking at the fear and greed index, we're finally back up into that neutral. Finally got out of the fear, right? And what did I tell you guys? And this is, I mean, this right here proves the point, is that when historically speaking, when you're looking at just the fear and greed index, people actually trade the fear and greed index, right? And what they do is they wait until we get into fear or extreme fear, right? And they buy in. They're not even looking at the charts. They're just buying in on whatever projects that they're bullish on, right? And they usually will tend to sell when we get into greed, or especially extreme greed, right? And if you guys were to use that logic, we got in deep into the fear as of the last few weeks. If you were to buy in at those times right now, you'd be definitely in the green on your portfolio just off the fear and greed index, right? Wanted to point that out. That's how not a lot, but some traders actually do. They just use the fear and greed index, right? So I mean, I don't use this to necessarily trade, but I do use it. I like to see, when the market's obviously we're in fear, I'm like, all right, good. That's usually when like I always tell you guys, you want to be greedy when the market is fearful, and then be fearful when we are in that extreme greed, right? When everybody is just like, oh my God, and Bitcoin's at all-time highs, and your alts are freaking, they're doing acrobats, up 30, 40, 50x. That's when you need to really be focusing on taking that bag and securing the bag and just getting ready for whenever we see another drop, right? It might take a little while. You might not plan out the top of the market, but if you go by those rules, right, and you just have that patience, you'll always do good. You'll always make money, right? And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We're all here to make money. Let's see here, the top, I think this is the top 100 projects, the top performers. You can see PopCat right now is pretty much the top. Now, I will tell you, this has reset. I don't know. I don't know if it resets when the stock market closes or whatnot, but this has reset in the last few hours, because I was checking it out earlier and there was a lot of other projects that were up. PopCat is up about 17% in the last 24 hours. That is a Solana project. You have Core, Dog with Hat. You notice Brett as well up. And this is what I was telling you guys the other day, was that no one was talking about meme coins, right? Meme coins are just like, when the market is doing bad, they're first to sell off, right? You're going to see the most fluctuations whenever the market is either moving up or moving down, right? But when we start moving back up, meme coins start running like crazy, and that's exactly what we're seeing today with a lot of these meme coins. They're doing absolutely fantastic. Looking at ladies, let's pull up ladies, because I know a lot of you guys are trading Milady particularly. You can see, look at this massive run that Milady had, running up to around that 10 mark before getting rejected, and you can see she is pretty much at a spot for some solid support, a little bit below, right? But she can still actually find this as some good support somewhere around this 96 area. Beautiful, beautiful spot for some support. Hopefully we can bounce off of that and we can kind of keep this momentum going, right? I will tell you guys, earlier today, probably a few hours ago, I did open up when we ran up to about the 63, 63.5, 63.6 area. I was noticing that, and I was looking at the like the 5 or the 15-minute chart, and I was noticing that we were pretty much hitting our head, right? And you know what? I was like, I'm going to open up a short. I did open up a short slightly, right? Not short on the market, even short term. Let me just explain what I did. Was I opened up a short and I did write it down. No diddy on that one. I did write it down, literally closed my short right before we went into the stream. I probably should have opened it up just to show you guys that I did close on like a 40% move. I did open up, it was like about a 90x, and like I said, it was a quick, just run in, run out, because I am 100% very bullish on the market, even short term, obviously long term in the market. So wanted to grab this quick short, grab a 40% move. It was like 38, 39% to be exact, and I jumped out. Now I could have kept it running, because when I did sell off, it was at around 63,000 even. Obviously we're a little bit below that right now, so I could have kept it open and still been in, and obviously would have been a little bit higher in the green. So it is what it is. And like I keep referring to, if you guys are interested in leverage trading, right? Disclaimer, leverage trading is not for the weak, right? You can easily get wrecked on leverage trading, but we do cover that a lot on our members only stream, right? We do have members only stream every weekend. Sundays are for the members. So hit that join button if you're able to. It's only $5 to join. Come join the squad. Art said, hold on. Yeah, so Art said it feels like a trap though. You know what's funny, Art, is that's what it's going to feel like, right? And I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, right? You know, and I'm sure all of us are, because we've been kind of, you know, our emotions are messed with right now for the last few weeks, the last like month or two, right? Well, we'll start seeing a little bit of a pump only to come up and see a big dump, right? And I didn't mean to rhyme on that one, but so it's natural for you to feel like that, right? I don't think that until we get to a certain level that, you know, our emotions are going to eventually switch gears and be like, all right, this is actually it, and be confident about it, right? So what I'm thinking, let's see here, is a couple things. Let me jump out of this chart real quick. We'll come right back to there, but it's freaking mayhem with all these support levels and stuff like that. A couple things I wanted to show you guys is so for Bitcoin, you can see that we obviously have been trading in this massive bull flag, right? Since we made all-time highs in March. We have been really respecting the descending channel, right? Beautiful bull flag that we have printed right here on the chart. Is this going to play out? We don't know necessarily yet. I hope. I really do hope, right? But a couple things. We are still in this channel, right? So until we break out of this channel, I'm telling you guys, we're not out of the woods yet, right? I'm not trying to burst your bubble or anything like that, right? You might end up getting another chance to accumulate, you know, more at some cheaper prices, right? I don't know if this is going to happen for a fact, but until we break above this channel, I'm not set on, yo, we're running, this is it. And I don't mean just break out, because we broke out briefly a few times, right? And this is why Art's emotion is, his emotions are like, you know, he's like a boy or a girl that's been broken up with a few times. He's got his walls up right now, people, right? Bitcoin's played with his emotions too much to where he's just like, crap, I don't know if this is it, right? I don't know if this is it. And I completely am right there with you. So what I will say is, until we can break above this channel, which currently right now, breaking above the channel would be above 64,600 and staying above the channel, right? So I don't mean one of these little quick blimps and then we break down. I mean, we break above the channel, right? And we find support above the channel. That's going to be confirmation that we are finally breaking out above the channel, obviously, and hopefully forming this beautiful, massive bull flag that we've already have on print, but it's playing out the way we want to see it, right? So looking at the daily, you guys can see. So we have the white, the red line, right? White line is going to be your 50. The red's going to be our 200-day moving average, and you guys can see. Look where we exactly hit our head, guys. Now, I wish I would have planned this a little better, because I would have literally killed it on a short right here. Because you guys know I do use these averages to open and close, you know, my longs and shorts and stuff like that. And you can see that we ran up and literally hit this 200-day moving average right here, clean as day. So with that being said, is everything over? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What I will say is we could easily, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but we could break down, find some support still above this 60,000 and still easily be running and breaking above this channel, right? So I bring this up because I want you guys to be prepared. I don't want you guys, you know, to think that if we do break down, you know, below 62, we break below 61, that it's all over with. We're going back down to the low 50s. Not necessarily, right? We have some spots that we have to hold for us to stay bullish, and that 60,000, that around that 60,100 area is going to be a big spot for some support that we definitely want to see us bounce on if we are going to make our way back down to those areas. So let's see here. Art said, Owen said, ladies to the moon. Troy said, NFK to the moon. Hell yeah. Definitely on that NFK. If you guys don't know, No Fud Koala on Solana, small cap gem that is going to freaking go crazy. That's obviously our native token, so I'm going to be biased, but we're going to kill that. Beep. Art said Billy's moving. We're going to pull up Billy. I saw that Billy was moving earlier. AI said get Nero on base. Turned $40 to 400, so that's a 10x and still going up. Base memes are on fire. Most have under $1 billion in circulation supply. Base Pepe is a good one too. I will agree with you, bro. base is up and coming. You know what I'm saying? Like they're already here, right? But I do see that they are up and coming with a lot of their meme coins. Obviously, if you guys are living under a rock, Base is Coinbase's DeFi, which is basically a layer 2 on Ethereum, right? So they have cheap fees, beautiful ecosystem. You can actually trade on Base using your crypto.com, I'm sorry, your Coinbase DeFi wallet, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I mean, it has a lot of meme coins that are built on the ecosystem that a lot of people are making some good money, right? So, and that might be a little bit slower pace if you feel like Solana is a little bit too much for you. Jumping on like Base, Arbitrum, some of these other ecosystems that do really good volume, but are a little bit slower pace because Solana is a beast, right? Solana's a beast. I know a lot of us are on here, we do our trades and stuff like that, but if you are not familiar with DeFi or you're kind of, dabbling with it, Solana will literally eat you alive. It will eat you alive, right? Sometimes I feel like that's a good thing because you can learn a lot from it. You make a couple of mistakes, you jump in, you get rug pulled like 4 or 5 times, and then you're like, all right, these bastards are not taking my money anymore, right? And you start, making better moves and stuff like that, but like I said, Base might be a better option for right now if you can, if you can jump on it with your DeFi wallet through Coinbase. Slower pace, a lot of money to be made. Let's see here. Jay said, third time is the money bag. Art, bro, I'm a man. That ain't sensitive. Bro, I understand. I'm not saying that you're, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, the way the charts have been the last few weeks and months, you get emotional about it, right? Not emotional like you're crying over there in your sleep. I'm saying like you don't really you don't trust these pumps yet until they get to certain levels. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy, all right? I thought we were Orty bros. I know you're a dude. Carlos, what's going on, bro? What is going on, guys? So yeah, that's pretty much how we're starting the stream off. I do think that Bitcoin, we are definitely setting up for our next leg. That last ultimate move towards the top that I think we have, that's going to be for the next few months going into the beginning of 2025. So if we're not, if we're going to see a little bit of a cool off right now, perfectly fine, guys, perfectly fine. If anything, this should show you that how fast things can switch gears and we could easily start running, right? So when we are down, right? So if we, for whatever reason, come back down and retest the bottom of this channel, right? And alter back down, 10, 20%. If you're able to financially, take advantage of it, guys. Take advantage of it. Don't be the people that are going crazy buying right now that we're pumped up. You should already have been accumulating, not financial advice, you should already have been accumulating a long, the last few weeks, picking up at these beautiful bargains that we've had. So, looking at Solana, we do have same thing kind of playing out with Solana. We have a big bull flag, not as beautiful as Bitcoin's looks, but we do have a nice little bull flag. Hopefully this plays out as well. Solana right now sitting at around $142. You guys can see we are trying to find that support above this 141, I believe it is. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Yep, you can see. So Solana right now broke a beautiful spot of resistance, broke right through it, and it looks like it needs to come back to retest it around this 141.30. This is going to be a big spot, a big test. Hopefully we can hold above this. If we can find some support above this 141 area, next spot for some big support, resistance, is going to be around the 151. So that's a big move that we could see Solana if and when we do find that support above this 141 area. So thank you, bro. He said, we're Orty bros. I'm cool. Phew. I thought you were about to start going crazy over there, bro. Can't be doing that, man. You guys know I've been accumulating the hell out of Orty. Orty, I look at the chart and it doesn't look as crazy pumped, right? But I will tell you, I've been picking up all down here. Orty jumped up, a nice 35% from this last drop. Nice little move. Obviously, we're seeing somewhat of a small retracement right now, but definitely looking absolutely fantastic. Looking to see if I should be putting some more, oh, that is a big spot for some support here. Let me put that on there. You guys can see I just dropped a support level right here, and I'm not basing it off of where we're at right now. I'm basing it off of spots that we've bounced previously. If you look at this level, and this is what we cover on members only stream all the time, is how do we find these support levels on the chart. You can see I went back and I found where we previously have bounced plenty of times. Yes, we broke below, but this is a spot for some big support. You can see probably 4, 5, 6, 7 times we bounced off of that, and look where we bounced also just previously or recently, same exact spot. So definitely a big spot for some support. Hopefully we can hold this out. We can hold this spot, and it looks like, I will tell you, it looks like a lot of the projects right now are kind of doing the same thing, right? They've all had a beautiful run, right? Hit their head at some point, and now they're coming back to retest some of these levels, right? And I think the same thing's probably going to happen for Bitcoin. I probably shouldn't have closed that freaking short. I should have left it open, because I definitely would be, oh man, I'd be killing it right now. Even though I did walk with a 40% move, that would have been a probably, who knows, maybe 100%. So like I said, you know, for all these other projects, kind of the same thing. We ran up, we hit our head. Now we're coming back to find some big support. I think next big support for Bitcoin is going to be around the 61,006. So don't get worried, guys. We'll be perfectly fine. We need to hold that 61.6 and we'll be okay. Hopefully we don't even get anywhere near there. So hopefully we don't get anywhere near there and we're perfectly fine. Let's see here. You guys can see for no FUD, Koala, we are up about 6.5%. Nothing too crazy for today, but like I say, as long as Solana's running, we're going to run with it. So we'll take it. I want to go through some bullish articles, and then we're going to jump into Twitter Spaces here. So Bitcoin's breakout to new highs could be near. Past market cycles suggest. So the top cryptocurrency correction from the market peak resembles the action of 2016 and 2020. During the previous bull runs, which resolved in new all-time highs in the latter months of the year. So Bitcoin has been stuck in a grueling multi-month correction since hitting 73,000 in March, convincing many investors that the market top is already behind. However, the recent price action resembles the top cryptocurrency's behavior during the previous two market cycles, which eventually resolved to an upside towards the end of the year. This suggests that a breakout to the new record highs could happen in the next months. And that's funny. Let's actually pull up the chart that we haven't pulled up in a while, guys, right? Because what they're talking about is what we always bring up in this I always bring this up. So looking at the Bitcoin chart, we're all the way back, right? This is, you know, going back to 2017 for Bitcoin. You guys can see what we've gone through, right? Is what they're basically saying is similar to kind of like what we've seen on this previous bull cycle back in 2020, 2021. If you guys remember, and we always talk about this, right? We saw this initial beautiful run up, right? And then we saw a big correction, right? We haven't seen a massive correction like we've seen in 2021. Let's hope that we don't see that, because like I said, when this happened in 2021, it scared the living hell out of everybody, right? It scared everybody, you know, thinking that the top was in. And that's exactly what the article just said, right? So the chart might not be exact, but the feeling, right, is the same in regards to what we were going through in 2021 versus what we were going through, you know, in the last few months since March. So you guys can see we made all-time highs, right? And then obviously we kind of chopped around. Remember, this is zoomed out. So, I mean, this whole threshold right here is from February to about the end of May, right? So you're talking about 2 months of us being up, right, making highs, and then we basically retraced. We retraced and we stayed down for about 2 months, right? 2 months, about a 2-month threshold, and then finally we started to break up only to make new all-time highs. And what they're basically saying is they're comparing, you know, the previous cycle, which I don't like to compare, right? Because things are going to be completely different, right? But I always like to look back and see if there's any similarities, right? And I told you guys this when we were kind of going into this downward trend, that this was most likely something similar that we were going to be playing out. Now, and I've also said this plenty of times, that if this was the bottom, right? If 49,000 was the bottom, and we're on our way up, we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin, right? When we were in 2021, when we broke down, we broke from $65,000. We went all the way down to $29K. Imagine that, $29,000. We just broke down to $49K, and you saw how the market was reacting, right? You saw the market was reacting. Imagine if we broke down to 29. Now, taking the scenario of if 49,000 was the bottom, imagine what we're about to be seeing. Because think about it, we broke down to 29K only to run up to $69,000 and are at the high. And when did the second basically run happen? October. Look at this. We were in October, and like I told you guys, we ran from October to about the end of November, and that we didn't realize at the time that was it. And we started our trek towards the down. And I'm thinking it's not going to be that short, in my opinion. I think that we're gonna slowly, because we shot up like crazy in 2021, right? I'm thinking that we're probably going to see slowly but surely movement towards the upside, and us kind of it's be a longevity in regards to maybe the next 3-4 months that we're up, at some solid prices, maybe not staying at all-time highs, but the market's basically tracking on the way up is what I'm thinking. I still do think that we've set up for the end of this year towards the beginning of 2025 is really where we're going to see these all-time highs. So despite Bitcoin's anemic performance since March, it is still up 290% from its November 2022 market bottom. In line with previous two bull markets during the same period, Glassnode data shows at this point in the 4-year cycle, Bitcoin advanced 309% during the 2015 to 2018 bull run and 251% in the 2018 to 2022 cycle. On both occasions, the periods with the steepest rallies came later in the cycle, meaning the later in the year, on the way to the market top. If Bitcoin stays within the range of its previous two cycles until the end of the year, it could rise up by 600 to 900% from its cycle low, potentially reaching a price between $108,000 to $155,000, guys. This is not just hogwash. I'm telling you guys, looking at these charts, and if you just go from previous, right? I don't like, saying that we're going to do exactly the same, but just running off of these previous cycles that we've seen, right? Really just going off of 2021. If that was the bottom, guys, we are going to freaking take off, right? In between, us taking off, there's going to be weeks, there's going to be days where, it feels like we're retracing back down, right? We're going to have cool offs in between. But when we look back, right? When all this is said and done and we're looking back, it's going to look something like this, where it's just absolutely, it looks like it just ripped. But remember yesterday when we were looking at that tweet where you look at the daily, you look at the yearly, and then you look at like the lifetime of Bitcoin daily, it's just up and down, it just will make you go crazy. Looking at the yearly, it starts to look like it's moving up. You see little retracements, and then when you just zoom all the way out, right? When in doubt, zoom all the way out. You just see the upward movement that Bitcoin's making, right? It's inevitable. So just to, like I said, to pretty much sum it all up, this 108,000 to 155,000 is not a far-fetched, idea, pretty much. Let's see here. So Art said, can someone hawk Tua on Bitcoin? I knew I was going to get in trouble when I put that on the emojis for the members. I'm surprised people don't use it more, honestly. Bendis, my bad if I mispronounced your name, brother, says difference in 2021 was the year after the halving, but end of this year is the year of the halving. Okay. Bullish said, have we broken through the 200-day moving average? Depends on what you're looking at, right? Depends. If you're looking at the weekly, obviously we've been well above the 200. right? But if you're looking at, you know, if we zoom out maybe on the daily, you can see that we have not broke above the 200-day yet. 200-day, breaking above the 200-day is somewhere around 63, almost 64K is where the 200-day is. So that's pretty much where we hit our head at today. If you're looking at the daily, we literally ran up and slapped the 200-day. So that's a bullish move, in my opinion. But to keep that bullishness, we need to keep retesting that 200-day moving average, and we need to get above it, right? I told you guys when we broke above the 200-day that we were basically, it was a like almost like you're in a bull market, but you're in a bearish pattern or a bearish kind of a zone in a bullish market, right? That's pretty much what it was when we finally broke below this 200-day moving average. You guys can see that we dropped down to some solid numbers, you know. But my opinion was some beautiful opportunity to accumulate on any of your favorite projects. Just my opinion. So, but yeah, we haven't broke above the 200-day yet on the daily, bro. So hopefully we will soon. Let's look at this chart real quick. So Bollinger Band trend mid-cycle corrections. So you guys can see. Let me see here. Okay. So to sum this up, you guys can see, obviously we're looking at our chart, and you guys can see from the from right here, 1 and 2. So green obviously is going to be your first major correction. 2 is going to be your second major correction, and then you have a blast off, right? 1 and 2 blast off, 1 and 2 take off, and then you have right here, we have our 1, which is our first correction, 2, which is our second correction, which we pretty much just what we just went through, right? And then they're basically, you know, the way the chart looks is from this chart, it's saying a potential $180,000 Bitcoin. Now, I know, it sounds absolutely crazy. You're like, Crip, are you freaking kidding me right now? $180,000 Bitcoin? Yes, it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Is it going to happen on this cycle? I hope damn so. I hope it does, right? I really do. I hope it does, because that just means that the alts are going to go absolutely insane if Bitcoin, I already told you guys, if Bitcoin breaks above all-time highs and stays above all-time highs, we're going to see alts. They're already going to be going crazy, but we're going to start seeing alts really, I'm talking about going into absolutely hyperdrive for some of these alts. Today, you saw just a little dose of what is going to happen when the markets actually, you know, start getting back to being bullish and confidence comes back into the market. I mean, coming back to the fear and greed index, you guys can see, even off of this, 44, we're in 44, basically neutral, which means we still have a massive amount of money that's sitting on the sidelines, right? Just like, excuse me, just like Art was saying at the beginning of the stream, he's like, he feels like it's a trap, right? I'm sure he feels he's bullish. You know, he's got money in the market. I know he does, right? But he just has that feeling like, is it a trap? And I think that's what a lot of people are still waiting to see. They don't mind buying in when we're up, you know, 20, 30, 40% if they can just confirm that this isn't some kind of a bull trap, right? So we have a lot of money that's still sitting on the sidelines that wants to come into the market, but they're not going to really jump in until Bitcoin can get to some of these levels. And this goes back to my charts with all our support levels that looks absolutely insane. I know there's madness. I mean, there's a lot of thought behind this madness. And like I said, I think we're not really going to see any massive movements until we can break above this channel. And right now the channel, let me move it over a little bit. This channel right now, if we were to break above on here, let me see here. Oh, this channel is a little different for whatever reason, and it's probably because I have all these freaking lines. But like I said, this channel, it's above the 200-day, right, for the daily. But really, the channel is around 64,500. That's what we're looking for, to break above and stay above. And I'm telling you guys, that's when you're going to start us seeing this very fast movement towards the upside, almost like a race to get to $70,000+ for Bitcoin. Tuan, what's going on? Gina's in the house. She said, can you please check on Mog? Bullish said, I think we will retrace one more time. I mean, I always think that we're going to retrace one more time, right? There's always going to be retracements. I think the big thing to understand, though, Bullish, is what do you call a retracement? Do you call us coming back down to retest the bottom of this channel? Or maybe just a small retracement, like I said, down to 60,100, or a little bit briefly below, maybe to 59K, right? If we can start finding that support for Bitcoin around that 60,100 area, finding it as support, and we don't break even down to 59, very, very bullish, guys. I'm telling you, we hold that as support and we keep coming up and retesting this 200-day on the daily, we're going to absolutely rip, guys. Oh, I'm getting all crazy over here. Gino, we'll check out Mog right now. Amor, what's going on? He said he made it. I'll be in and out. I'm driving right now. You're good, brother. Amor said, any news why we are pumping now? And good Lord, Mog is finally in the green. Let's pull up Mog for you guys. Let's pull up Mog. I got to fix my fib retracement. All right, so Mog, you know what I need to do for you, Gina, and I'm sure you've probably already done it because you remember. We need to go through and find these support levels. I know we have the fib retracement, but we need to go in and find these support and resistance levels so we can do a little bit more better analysis on why we're getting hung up at some of these spots, because you can see we didn't make it all the way up to the 0.5 yet, right? But we did get rejected. So I'm wondering, and you can see now that I'm looking at it, looks like we had the spot that we hit our head was a previous spot for some support is what it looks like. So I'm going to mark it down. Let me explain this. So you can see we hit our head right here, right? And I'm why did we do that? Well, you guys can see if you look back on the chart for Mog particularly, look right here. This was a spot for some support, right? We go back a little bit previously and you can see we bounced off of this spot multiple times, right? And we actually have come up and we've also hit our head on it multiple times, right? So this is a big spot, even though it is in between the fib retracements, the 618 and the 0.5, you can see it is a big spot for some support / resistance. So obviously being under it is going to be resistance. So we're probably going to need to retest this level multiple times, and that level is marked at the 1230 right there, 1236 to be exact. So that's going to be a big spot for some resistance. But I will tell you, looking at every project for today, the charts all look pretty much the same, right? We've run up and we've all hit our head at some kind of a spot for some resistance, whether it be our 200-day or just a spot that we've had as resistance previously, right? And all of them are having somewhat of a retracement, and a lot of them are bouncing or trying to bounce at support levels, right? So with that being said, all eyes are on Bitcoin right now, right? All eyes are on Bitcoin. I would love to see tonight if the Asian market is going to come through, because they should be waking up soon. I'd love to see if the Asian market, and particularly maybe the Europe market, is going to come through and possibly help us continue this move towards the upside. What's going on, Ricky? Bendez said, when do you plan to start exiting the market? Any strategies or timelines? I know there is no ordinary exit from the market. There's no orderly. You know what, bro? Honestly, for right now, like, not even like really, you know, I don't have any like goals like, oh, when Bitcoin hits this amount, you know, I'm jumping out of the market, right? You know, for right now, we're just going to basically play it day by day, but I'm not even thinking about exiting the market as of now until, you know, Bitcoin starts making all-time highs again, and really waiting till altcoin season really takes in. And obviously altcoin season being when Bitcoin's dominance, starts to retrace, because right now, look at Bitcoin's dominance, 57.4%, guys. I mean, this is good for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's dominance is at 57.4%. This is probably one of the highest dominance I've seen in a very, very long time. Let me see here. So this is dominance right here. You guys can see, I mean, blue being Bitcoin, right? Green being Ethereum. I know this chart's a little bit wonky looking. This is the chart that we're looking at right here. But you guys can see Bitcoin's dominance. Obviously, it going down on the chart, right? The blue going down, meaning Bitcoin's dominance is going up, right? And right now, we obviously have broke well above the 50%. We're at 57%. Normally, when we get into altcoin season, Bitcoin's dominance is going to come down, right? So right now, Bitcoin's dominance is very high. It's very high, especially for where we're at in this market in regards to, you go back 2014 to like 2018, there wasn't a lot of altcoins, right? So Bitcoin's dominance was to be, obvious, right? Because there's just, when you're in crypto, 99% of people are just holding Bitcoin. Nowadays, it's a lot different. There's so much, honestly, some people can say the markets are very diluted, right? But there's just so much going on in the markets, as far as there's over millions of projects, right? So the fact that Bitcoin's dominance has gotten so high up again, 57.4%, that right there tells me, that's good for Bitcoin in the short term, right? It's good for Bitcoin in the short term. We want to see that dominance. We want to see the dominance, whether it's going to stay up or not while Bitcoin is running, perfectly fine. But we do want to start seeing the Bitcoin dominance start coming down and Bitcoin's price kind of being stable. We want to see Bitcoin's dominance coming down. We want to see the market cap, which is up 4% for today. We want to see the market cap start running back up. This is the chart for the market cap. And you guys can see it pretty much plays almost exactly how, if we look up Bitcoin's chart, you can see this was 2021's run, right? Us going through the bear market. And then you can see us making all-time highs for Bitcoin, right? You see how we made all-time highs for Bitcoin back in March right here, but we didn't break all-time highs for the whole crypto market. The whole crypto market all-time highs was back in November of 2021. Why is that? It was because we were in altcoin season. Not only Bitcoin was making all-time highs at that time, but you had Ethereum making all-time highs, right? You had a lot of different projects, not just Bitcoin, that was making all-time highs. That's another thing that we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin's dominance drop. We want to see the market cap for the whole crypto space continue to move up. Those are going to be the two major signs that we're waiting for us to know that we're in altcoin season. And this all leads back to Bendez, I hope I'm pronouncing your name, Bendez's question, what's my exit strategy? As of now, my exit strategy, none for right now, unless something crazy happens. But for right now, I think that we have started our final leg up towards making these all-time highs. I think that we're going to have a good time for the next few months. Obviously there's going to be periods where we are retracing here and there, but for the most part, we're going to be looking good. So I'm not really focused on that as of now, right? But as long as you're subscribed to the channel, we will be mapping that out. And I've said this plenty of times before, in the last few weeks, that I'm very transparent on when I am exiting the market, not for you to mimic what I'm doing, but just to give you a heads up, like, hey, we're in extreme greed right now, right? Or whatever the case is, whatever I'm basing it off of. And I'm exiting my positions, and that's pretty much how we're going to do it. But I don't see any of that happening in the near future, right? So Bullish said, yeah, I think we'll go back down to 50 again. Hope I'm wrong, but who knows? Gina said, at this point, I'm not going to take profit on Mog. Just wait for altcoin season. And you know what? I will say, like what Gina's saying, she's like, I have no plans on taking any profits right now. I'm right there with you, right? Obviously, this isn't a financial advice, but what I always tell you guys, right, in my opinion is different projects are going to move at different times, right? Different projects are going to move faster. They're going to have more profits. You're going to be up like crazy. Secure your bag, right? Secure your bag. Do not run these projects up and then run them back down, because I'm telling you, I've done it a couple times. It stinks, right? It stinks. So you're like, well, how do I time the top? You're never going to be able to time the top, right? But if you're looking at your portfolio and you put in $1,000 and you're at like 10 grand, you just 10x, maybe you can start looking at taking some freaking profits, right? Don't let the greed take over. I know you're in your mind, you're like, but this could be $1 million, right? It could be, right? Or it could go right back down to $1,000 and maybe drop down to 500, right? Which one's better? Taking your profits at 10K or you know, having your portfolio back in the red, you know? So this is, I know it's like a, you know, it's not this a game, but this is why not everyone is successful in trading. But when you put yourself in a good position and you're in some really good serious gains, you really should always consider taking some profits just to secure the bag. So if we do see any more dips, you obviously can take advantage of it, right? And do it all over again. So that's not financial advice. That's just, you know, live and learn experiences that I've gone through, you know, through my trials of the last 4 or 5 years of being in crypto. So Ricky said you can take profits anytime you feel like, if you feel like you want to. Jason, when you start taking screenshots of your portfolio, that's a good time to leave the market. Hey, you know what? That is good. I always give everybody the same story. Like back in 2021, the top of the market, I'm not lying. I go to the gym every morning, right? If you follow the channel, you know I always talk about it. And I had an elderly person come up to me and they're like, "Hey, Crip," you know, because I talk to everybody, right? This isn't just this how I am right now. I'm literally like this everywhere I go. I walk by everybody, even if they're like the most toughest, roughest person. If we make eye contact and I'm cool with you, or even if I don't know you, I always say hello. I say hello. I say what's up, whatever the case is. So I always make friends at the gym. And this old man comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Crip," he's like, I'm not lying to you. He's like 80 years old. He's like, "Hey, man," he's back in 2021. He goes, "My wife is telling me to buy Shiba." And I'm like walking through. I'm like, I pause. I'm like, "What'd you say, bro?" He's like, "My wife, 80 years old, told me to buy Shiba." He's like, "What the fuck is Shiba?" And I'm like, "How the hell does she know about Shiba?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "She told me to talk to you and ask how the hell do we buy Shiba." And I'm like, oh my God. I left there and I was like, I think this is the top of the market. And it sure enough was, right? Now, it wasn't because they came, nothing against them, but the point of the story is when grandma or your family is at the dinner table for Thanksgiving or whatever the case is, and they're starting to talk about crypto, and you know these people they don't know anything about crypto, it's usually a big red flag that we're starting to get towards the top, or we are at the top, because everybody and their mother is talking about crypto again, right? So Hernandez, what's going on? He says, does anyone know where to buy the Trump coin? I believe it's called World Liberty Financial. Did he drop? I don't know if he dropped that project yet, bro. I don't know if he dropped. Wait, on Monday he announced it, but did he actually drop it is the question. We'll check on DeFi and see. I don't believe this is it right here. This is probably a dud, like a fake. Yeah, this is this is probably a fake. Well, this one is on Solana, but I really don't think this is it, to be honest. I mean, it's a solid project. I mean, it's almost at $1 million market cap. Liquidity's locked. I just don't think that this is probably it. You guys see this bubble things on the deck screener that they have now? For whatever reason, it's not popping up. I think it's brand new, so they don't have it all set up. But this is basically looking at all the wallets, right? It shows up the bubbles on the wallets. I will say the top wallets only have about 5% as of right now. Radium being, obviously they have to hold on to some 4% for this project. So, I mean, I don't know. I would be careful, as far as, obviously whenever they announce, something like this, there's always going to be like 100 different fake ones. We covered the story of when it, see, now look at this. This one has $400,000 liquidity. I'm trying to look to see if there's any ones like that are like big boys. This one has $400,000 in liquidity. Bro, so many fakes out there. I like this website though. We could always go to his let's see something. I think he dropped it on his the hell? When was Monday? Monday was the 16th. Didn't he drop it on the 16th? Doesn't this looks AI? Look at this. Beware of scams, fake tokens, and airdrops. Offers are circulating. We aren't live yet. You see this? You see this, Hernandez? He says they're not live yet. So any project that you see right now, they're all fakes. They're all fakes. Yep. There you go. Gina just said it. Look at this. Whoa. Says there will be signs when Bitcoin hits 250,000. That's going to be Ricky. I know we already asked this plenty of times, but you guys right now, if you hit $10 million in Bitcoin, right, and you're going to buy, your dream car, what is it? Lambo, Ferrari? What are you guys buying? Crypto burger. The hell? Oh yeah, did you guys see this? Louisiana government now accepting crypto payments. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Art said he's getting a Geo Metro. Nice. Hey, those are freaking classics right there, bro. Don't hate on the Geo. Ricky said he's going to be the delivery guy to bring me my Lambo. I don't know, bro. You know, if I do get a Lambo, dude, I'm twin turbo in it for sure. Like 100%. My Audi right now will dog out a Lambo. I'll dog out a Lambo right now. Now, I will dog out a Lambo 0 to 70, off the line, all-wheel drive. But once we get past 70, obviously the Lambo, those things are made to do like what, 200. Definitely gonna that's when I lay off and I'm like, all right, I got you, I'm done. And definitely don't do any roll races. We saw this last night, obviously, not being political. Trump stopped by this Bitcoin bar and bought everybody crypto burgers, remember? Was handing out crypto burgers. Basically made the first president or presidential candidate to do a transaction in Bitcoin. He did it last night. Whether you love him or you hate him, and like I said, if that was even Kamala, I still would be like, damn, that's pretty cool. Look at this. And that's funny because, okay, so Trump said crypto will be a living hell if he warns if he loses the 2024 election. You know what? I have to disagree with this. Remember that chart that we looked at yesterday? And it showed what crypto does every 4-year cycle, right? Well, it happens to be also aligned with the elections, right? And regardless of whoever wins the election, crypto, or Bitcoin particularly, but crypto is as well, always prevails and does amazing, right? Every 4-year cycle. So I do agree that if just because Trump has been a little bit more pro crypto, that if he loses, maybe we see some brief movement towards the downside. But I do think after the smoke clears, a few weeks later, a month later, if he does not win, I think we are still going to be perfectly on track as far as moving. Now, if he wins, we probably prevent that brief short term of us moving down, and maybe the markets will rally even more, only because he has been so pro crypto, right? I'm not giving political views or anything like that. I'm just saying solely looking at the crypto space and which candidates have been a little bit more pro crypto. Obviously, Trump has been voicing his that he's been a little bit more pro crypto versus the other candidates. So by no means am I getting political or anything like that. What is this? Anybody care to explain what the hell this is? Bitcoin price 100-week moving average. Don't know. You guys can see. Now, remember what we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, right? Remember what we were talking about in regards to, and I'll go back to this same thing, right? This bull flag that we have playing out, you guys can see, where are we at here? Exit out of this one. You guys can see that this chart, or whoever this is basically saying almost the same thing, right? They're calling for a little bit higher on their bull flag chart, but you guys can see that they're pretty much indicating that when we break out of this channel and we stay above this channel, right? We break out of this channel, we stay above this channel. That is going to be confirmation that we are about to be making new all-time highs. I guarantee it, guys. Guarantee it. And we already covered this fear and greed index. We're moving up. We are at around 47, 49. So things are starting to look like the confidence is coming back into the market. Let's check on our boy Crypto Rover. So he puts out a chart showing back in 2020, 2021. You guys can see pretty much what they're indicating is this was when the halving happened, right? 161 days. We saw a massive breakout, right? We saw upward movement in between, right? You guys can see since the halving, as of today, 154 days have passed, right? And basically they're trying to show that we could be mimicking something similar, just like a lot of articles were talking about, right? We read that article that pretty much said the same thing. Not that it's going to be exactly the same, but we could see similarities of the last bull run back in 2020, 2021. And I will tell you, I vouch that, the feeling that we just came out of was kind of the same feeling that we had back in 2021 when we briefly, went from 65,000 back down to 30K. It was kind of the same feeling where everybody was kind of just like over the downward movement, the sideways action, and you saw a lot of people just like, I think that was the top. And then lo and behold, 8 weeks later, we flew up to make new all-time highs, right? Another chart that he's looking at, gold, right? Gold's been killing it. The S&P has been killing it. And look at Bitcoin, right? And what's crazy is these two have S&P has been making all-time highs for the last like 4 or 5 months. Gold just started making all-time highs, right? Bitcoin has already made all-time highs this year. That's what's crazy, right? So if anybody ever tells you anything about gold versus Bitcoin, you got to tell them, gold is doing great, but bro, we already made all-time highs this year, and we're about to be making more all-time highs, right? You guys just got to where we were at in March, right? So you're a little bit behind, but at least you're getting there. At least you're getting there. And then we covered this yesterday, but we'll just bring it back up again just to give you that hopium. So this isn't your monthly. This is going by quarterly, right? And you guys can see quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, right? And especially if we look at 2024, 2020, 2016, what do they all have in common? Well, not only do they have the final quarter blast off in green, right? But those were election years, right? Those were 4-year cycles. Those were election years. And you can see 2016, we moved 58% on the last quarter. 2020, we moved 168% on the last quarter. And this is just Bitcoin. Imagine what the altcoins did, right? And then obviously we have 2024. We haven't even got into the fourth quarter yet, being about, what do we have? About a week and a half, I would say. Today's the 19th. We have 30 days. So yeah, we have about a little over a week until we get into the final fourth quarter of 2024, which we're expecting to be an epic, time in the market. So hope I'm giving you guys that hopium, right? Let's check out. I'm just realizing you guys were asking about a few projects. Let's pull up Billy real quick because I know Billy was running like crazy. Look at that, 44 freaking percent today. Absolutely ripping. Where's Flip at? Flip's probably going to watch this later, but look at this. Obviously, beautiful bounce off this support level. It didn't make it all the way down to this support level right here, but you can see a nice freaking takeoff and for Billy. Absolutely ripping today. This is the project Nero. Someone was talking about this on base. You know what I want to check out too, guys? So looking at the 24-hour volume for DeFi for Solana, we're up at 1.1 billion. Ethereum 1.2 billion. What the hell is this Canto? $6 billion? What the hell is Canto? That's not correct. There's no way in hell this made $6 billion in volume. I'm calling some bullshit on that. I've heard of Canto, but I didn't know it was like this big ass ecosystem. Yeah, that ain't correct. I'm reading something off of a few days ago. It looks like they had some kind of a apparently they had some critical issues with their note, and stablecoins liquidity was severely affected. I think the issues are still unresolved. Yeah, that's not correct. For sure. They did not do $6 billion. Binance 2.7, Base 700, Arbitrum 500. The reason why I'm pulling this up is it looks like DeFi is starting to come back alive, guys. Looks like DeFi is starting to come back alive, so that's awesome. Did I tell you guys I bought in on call the other day? I bought some call. Call's up 4%. Gino wants to check out Mary real quick. Mary's on Cronos. Not looking bad, up 8%. It's going to have a big spot for some resistance somewhere around this 24 area. That's a 786. Doesn't look bad, though. Moonflow up. Nothing too crazy. Volume still for Cronos is still down like crazy. $2.5 million. So really nothing too much going on for Cronos as of now. But like I said, I ended up jumping in on call. Yesterday it was like down a little bit. It was down a little bit more than what it is right now. So I just threw a bag at it. I'm just gonna let it sit there. So I've had that Cronos just sitting there for like the last 7 months. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do something with it. Ricky said he found the recipe for the crypto burgers. Nice. Make sure you share that in the Discord, bro. Make sure you share that in the Discord if you can. Looking at the weekly, you guys can see for the weekly, things look fantastic for a lot of alts. Crazy. ICP is still down for the weekly, 5%. Helium's down. What is this? Fast token. And Quant. And Maker. But you can see, look at this. Freaking, what is this? Nervos. Up like crazy. Popcat. Hex. Hex is up 40%. Celsius, we already know. Sui. Phantom. Absolutely killing it. Theta. Having a solid week. Oh, Ricky said it's a bologna sandwich. I'm good on that one, bro. I'm good. I don't need the recipe, dude. I actually just realized I'm good. I don't need it, bro. Excuse me. I'm good on that recipe, bro. Oh, yeah. We have one more article. Guys. Let's just stay bullish. So is a bull market imminent? Analyst predicts Bitcoin rally in 15 to 20 days. You hear that? In 15, 20 days, you guys are going to be rich. 15, 20 days. Let's see here. As Bitcoin finds strength, blustering by the U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates, one analyst believes we are on the cuffs of a bull market. In September 19, X-Post, popular analyst Crypto Rover, we were just looking at him, cited historical post-halving trends as grounds that Bitcoin market should be starting in the next 15 to 20 days as we approach the end of an accumulation phase. And we literally were just looking at this chart, right? We literally were just looking at this chart. And what's crazy is whatever, I don't know how they got this, but remember, we were just looking at just 2020 and 2024, but they also have 2016. And look, 168 days, blast off. 161 days, blast off. Right now, we are currently at 150, I think it's 154 days. That's probably why they're looking at a different post that he posted, I believe. Oh, yeah, this was from 2 days ago that he posted it. So you guys can see that right now, we are not far from a historical blast off if you compare it to the two previous 4-year cycles, right? And that's pretty much what they're basing it off. So Let's see what they say about the election. So this forecast aligns with what is expected to be a monumental catalyst, the U.S. presidential election, which is expected to bring new all-time highs due to positive driver dominating regardless of the election outcome. And this is exactly what I just said. I don't think it matters who gets elected. Obviously, one candidate's been a lot, pro crypto, so I think that would be more of a plus. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if Kermit the Frog wins the election, guys, right? Does not matter. Bitcoin is going to do what Bitcoin does, and it always prevails, right? It always prevails. It always prevails. So it does not matter who wins the election whatsoever. And I mean, we could go over chart, but no matter what, the way things are pointing right now, guys, is it seems that we are literally, and I quote the cuffs of what that article just said, we are on the brink of a real big move for the markets, for crypto. Yes, we've seen some upward movement in the last day or two, the last week. To be honest, we've seen some upward movement. It's been great, but we still have not broke out of this channel. And once we break above this red line, which indicates the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin, and we break above this channel and we find support above both those lines, that is going to be confirmation that we are taking off, right? That's going to be confirmation. So until then, everything's great, but I'm going to also tell you guys that we are not out of the woods necessarily yet. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we can get that confirmation, right? And I mean above the 200-day, above this channel, we get that confirmation, and everything plays out in our favor. So, but if it doesn't, it just gives us more time to accumulate, right? So like I've been telling you guys, that same analogy, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? We go up, I'm freaking ecstatic because I have, I bought some big positions and I've been adding and adding. If we go back down, I still have dry powder sitting on the side, ready to just accumulate more. And just like Troy said, yes, NFK to the freaking moon. NFK to Uranus, Troy. But with that being said, guys, man, I hope you guys stay bullish. It feels good. Take this time in. Enjoy it. I think we're going to have some good times ahead of us. I really do. I think we're going to have some good times. But if we do see any kind of retracement, we'll be fine. Like I said, for right now, the first spot that we're looking for some solid support for us to really stay above and stay bullish for right now is going to be that 60,000 level, 60,100, 60,200 area. That's going to be a big spot that we definitely need to hold if we are going to see any kind of a retracement. So hopefully we don't get anywhere near there and we just continue to keep knocking on the 200-day moving average. That's what we want to see. As long as we keep retesting it, it will break eventually. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you need anything from me, I'll be in the Discord. Other than that, guys, thank you so much. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see each and every one of you guys tomorrow. And guess what? Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow